established. And in order to pay bills for this project, we would have to fund this account, is that correct?
That's where it should come from.
Okay.
You can pay it out of general, but it should come from.
And frankly, that's what should happen, because we've been paid out, everything has been paid out of the general fund up until now.
Once you move the money into this account,
Yeah.
that's what you're using it for.
And can it be used for anything else?
No.
No.
You have to basically disband the project and then,
In order to use the
Correct.
money.
But you
in
don't
case of
have to move any
emergencies.
money into the account. You can move a bit of money into the account. I mean, you don't, when it talks about the maximum amount to spend, that's to protect going over a certain thing. You don't have to put anything into the
And this
account
is
until the
something I
town
think
board
the
feels
public
ready.
should know.
We put $50,000 in that account in 2008.
This is a decision the town board should make to establish the account, to establish the project. It doesn't mean the project will be done, and it doesn't mean that the town board will even vote to fund an account for the project.
Well, we have to fund it if we're going to have project costs in order to pay for it out of this account. That was, Bill just said that.
Well, you can put that
And
amount
number
of,
two, the resolution can be established at any time. I think we should come up with a process and a time frame. Let me be clear.
Who is we,
Bob.
Mark? Who is
The
we?
town board. Let me,
No, I'm not
Bob,
going to
let me just be clear. I just want you to know, I think everybody here knows we have issues with that highway garage. There's no question about that. It's public input, which is most important to some of us anyway, all right? I think you have to have a process and a timeline, establish a timeline, and notify the public. It's most important we get public approval for this.
okay. If we have a capital project that's established, and there's a public hearing, and the engineering firm who has, up until this point, done the plans, appears at that public hearing, we can put funds into the capital project, into the highway garage capital project fund that will pay for that appearance, for his time. We do not have to put more money into that account. If we do not have a capital, if the town does not have such a fund, then what we pay for the engineer to come to the public hearing comes out of the general fund.
Which we've done many times.
But it has nothing to do with informing the public. It has nothing to do with having a public hearing. It has nothing to do with making sure people know. I think you might recall that one of the big issues I ran on when I was running for this office was public information and people knowing what the town board was doing and the decisions the town board was making, and particularly the monies, the taxpayer monies that the town board was agreeing to spend. So I have no problem with a public hearing. I don't like insinuations that I might be against it. We can have a public hearing anytime. We can send a letter out. The town board can send a letter out to every resident in town again, announcing the public hearing, inviting people to come, giving them information about the garage. That's absolutely fine. That has really nothing to do with establishing the capital project, which enables any funding, including any consultation hours that the current engineer charges the town for coming clearly out of a fund that is related to what he's consulting about, rather than coming out of the general fund. That's all it has to do with.
I would like to say that I think that this discussion should have taken place at the workshop.
But we didn't have these at the
We-
workshop.
No, we did not have these, but obviously, some of us may not have had time to read them, but people have certainly had time enough as a group to think about not dealing with this tonight. And I think we should have been informed of that, and this should have happened at the workshop instead of at the public meeting.
Well,
And
then,
we could have
this
had-
brings up a whole
then
can
we
of
could have
worms.
had a
It
plan
brings up
to
a whole,
present to the
Joanne,
public.
you bring up a whole can of worms about getting information on a timely basis in order for
Okay.
the board to do
All
their
right.
due
Yeah,
diligence.
sometimes
to be
some-
effective and
I
efficient.
made an attempt for us to start procedures that would help that happen. but you were not in favor of them, so we dropped them.
Sometimes town boards or any legislative bodies are given information pretty much at the last minute. If the town board, the highway garage committee chair came to me and said, oh gosh, this hasn't been done, I said, well, let's try to get it together and we'll present it to the town board. This is being presented to the town board. If you don't feel comfortable voting on it tonight, then that's so be it.
We have a motion. on the
I mean, I
floor.
just don't think we need to, it's 11:15. I don't think we need to belabor it. I think our town attorney has been very clear that this does not commit us to spending money. We will be spending the money anyway if the consultant comes to a public hearing, but this has nothing to do with scheduling a public hearing. And it has nothing, in fact, to do with the engineer. It just has to do with being able to establish a capital project so that clearly there will be a fund that if monies are spent on the highway garage capital project, it will be clear and the town will be accountable for how much was spent on the project.
And
So
the public should know
We have a
that
motion on
and
the
what the
floor.
capital project fund is about, that when the money goes in, it can only come out for the
we do not,
project.
all right, we do not have to fund the account with more money than the consultant is going to charge for the public hearing.
I'd like to call the question, Virginia. We have
Okay.
a motion and a second on the floor. We've been discussing this a long time.
All right, so
Just one other thing, and I would like to make clear that I am, like I said, I'm for the highway garage. I am, that being said, so I don't, now voting tonight, I don't want to, I don't want to vote no,